It was a holiday tree, then it became a Christmas tree, and now it's back to a holiday tree. Well, what happened?
Well, I declared it a Christmas tree. The irony is you really can't make this up. The state agency that deals with agriculture and trade, the same week that the turnaround was made to call it a holiday tree again, actually put out a release talking about the sale of what? Christmas trees. And it would be like having Thanksgiving and forgetting about giving thanks for what we have and our family and our friends and those around us. So interesting times out there.
Every year. Every year, it's the same insanity, the same made-up war on Christmas, which is just really a way for white Christians to feel like they're victims for once in our society. And as a cherry on top, Scott Walker, a former governor, tries to make this preposterous claim.
Somehow people feel that there's this separation of church and state. That's not the case. The Constitution made it clear you can't establish a state religion. So if we said you could only practice things regarding Christian faith, that would totally be wrong, which is why we don't. We don't distinguish that you can only do things that relate to Christians, certainly those who are Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, you name it.
Bro, it's so disingenuous. The Founding Fathers were largely deists. They didn't believe in organized religion for the most part. Yes, they wanted separation of church and state. It's written over and over again in Thomas Jefferson's writings. And the establishment of religion is explicitly mentioned in the Constitution in a not good way, but sure, buddy. And by the way, if no one recognized him, I just mentioned him before, but that's Scott Walker. He's a failed presidential candidate. He was the former governor of Wisconsin who just destroyed union protections in this really Orwellian way. And he was one of the top Koch brother money recipients of all time. So at least he won something there. And by the way, impeachment hearings are about to start. So it seems like Fox and Friends might want to focus on that. But this got me thinking. So this talking point about the war on Christmas, it's really pervasive, and I do think it's important to an extent, but also the story is just fun, to understand how it got started so we can effectively combat it. The New York Times wrote a really good piece about it a few years ago that I wanted to share with you guys. The idea of a plot against Christmas gained wide popularity when Fox News promoted a 2005 book by a radio host, John Gibson, that alleged liberal antagonism toward the holiday, according to Dan Castellano, a professor at Fairleigh Dickinson University. And then it was Bill O'Reilly who kept hammering it over and over again, specifically about how Obama was trying to destroy Christmas. That was the mission of his presidency, which we all know is a shorthand for racism. Mr. O'Reilly returned to the theme of a war on Christmas again and again over the years. In 2012, he told viewers that liberals were tying the Christmas situation into secular progressive politics because they wanted a new America, and traditional Christmas isn't a part of it. That argument became a sweeping shorthand for conservative anxieties. What the entire thing is a way just for conservatives to feel victimized, and hopefully if you're watching this, you know this, but I do think it's a great example of how the right keeps talking about how facts over feelings, but this entire argument is completely based in feelings. For example, the obsession with the phrase Happy Holidays. The greeting Happy Holidays has been used as a Christmas greeting for more than 100 years, but it has grown in popularity in recent decades as people have tried to be inclusive and sensitive to those of other faiths and the non-religious. The horror. It's not like Happy Holidays was invented yesterday. I mean, Happy Holidays is a Christmas song that was literally written by Irving Berlin. I don't even remember. It must have been like in the 40s or 30s. So that might poke holes in one's argument. Again, though, this debate is obviously so silly, but it isn't to a lot of people. So hopefully this breakdown of the history of it is a little helpful around holiday season once it rolls around, so you can have a conversation about this with your drunk uncle. So in any event, happy holidays.